are now listening to the War Report Podcast Network.
Yes, sir. What's up to my up-tempo gang? Good morning to the Auburn family. Hope everybody out there is having a good weekend. I'm your host, Dustin Smith, and my guy, Nick Frazier, is here like he is every Sunday morning. Live episode of the Up-Tempo Podcast, man. As you file in, go ahead, do us a favor. Smash that thumbs up button. Sub to the channel if you haven't done that yet. Nick, what a fun day it was yesterday in Jordan-Hare Stadium. I think everybody kind of expected Auburn to beat Mercer, but earlier in the week, when it got announced that freshman Deuce Knight was going to get his first career start, kind of added a little juice, added a little anticipation to what otherwise would just be a sleeper type game. And I said on our Friday show, buddy, that I was kind of expecting maybe like a slow start. He is athletic. He's going to make some plays with his legs. But I expected kind of like a mixed bag from a true freshman in his first start. I expected some big dynamic plays because he's that athlete.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't expecting him to tie the record for the most overall touchdowns ever for an Auburn football player in his first game. Now, perspective is obviously important here. It is the Mercer Bears. They are an FCS team. But also, in your first start, the first time we get to see you, and I think everybody said, hey, whether he plays bad this week or whether he plays well, let's not freak out and make too much of it one way or the other. It's hard to watch that and say, it looks different, buddy. It looks different. And that's, me and you've been recording for a while, and you know how high I've been on Deuce.
Yep.
It's because from like the first time when I watched him last year in high school, like the first quarter, I was like, oh, that just looks a little different.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we got to see that yesterday. Like eye test. You got these guys, Elijah Melendez, look different early. Cam Coleman looks different. Like right when you saw him, right out the gate his freshman year, you're like, this looks a little bit different, man. This guy's a step above. Keldrick Falk, his freshman year, and Deuce Knight, that guy, man. Just your thoughts on the performance that he put on in his first start yesterday.
Listen, shout out to Deuce. I gotta stand up. I gotta give Deuce a hand clap. Because I was one of the people that I thought we would probably see him have some freshman struggles yesterday. I thought I didn't think I wasn't expecting that. I'm just gonna be real. 9 carries for 162 yards, 4 touchdowns. I was not expecting that. And then if I'm not mistaken, I think his first 4 carries were touchdowns. Every time he carried the ball the first 4 times, if I'm not mistaken, were touchdowns. I wasn't expecting that. I was expecting, come out here, we get a chance to see a little bit of flash, maybe we'll see him, throw the ball a little bit, be a little inconsistent and things and stuff like that. And there are still some things that needs to be worked on mechanically. Because, as I watch the game, like from a mentality of like somebody that's played and that's coached and that's kind of like, I haven't coached, but that looks at it from that perspective, you always look at the parts of where you can get better, where you can improve. But if we just looking at it just from the totality of it, man, what a day. 200 yards passing, 160 some yards rushing. I mean, I think Auburn rushed the ball for what? Just over 200 yards, and he had over a third of it, if I'm not mistaken.
Cobb had a pretty pedestrian day.
So, I mean, shout out to Deuce, man. Shout out to Deuce Knight for, doing like, man, it looked, I'm gonna tell you when we was watching it, it looked like he was playing against, and shout out to Bubba from Bubba and the Old Man. He said this. And when he said it, I kind of just locked it in because I was like, that's exactly what it looks like. It looked like he was running against middle schoolers out there when he was running the football. As soon as he took off, it looked like he was running against middle schools, and it looked like he wasn't even running. It like he wasn't even trying to run. It's like he was just striding. That's what it looked like. Man, shout out to Deuce, man. Deuce did his thing yesterday. But everybody in my ear that I talked to last night was like, but it was Mercer though. I was like, yeah. It was Mercer. Mercer had a bad defense. Mercer had a pretty decent offense. But everybody's like, but it was Mercer though. I'm like, give the man his props, man. Give the man his props. He had a really good game yesterday. He stepped up to the plate. He did what he was supposed to do against Mercer. And it still looked competent, and it still looked flawless, and it still looked fluent throughout the game. So shout out to Deuce, man. I'm excited. 6 touchdowns, and his first 4 touchdowns, were rushing touchdowns. Man, Shout out to Deuce, man. I hope there's a way Auburn can keep him. That's all I'm gonna say. I hope there's a way Auburn can keep him.
Yeah, I mean, he made a case. He made a case right in front of the money people, like, hey, you might want to keep me around. And you see, man, this is what it looks like. This is what a 5-star dual threat top player in the country coming out of high. This is what it's supposed to look like, man. All the tools, but you can have all the tools. It's also the intangibles. And look, I completely understand, the crowd that says it was just Mercer. And I'm on board with that. Like, we shouldn't overreact. I said this on yesterday's show. I still believe that Auburn should, if it was me, and we don't know who the OC is going to be. We don't know who the head coach. There's a lot of questions, as we said today. So projecting out might not even be, an exercise that makes sense. But if we look forward, I think Auburn should do everything they can to try to keep Deuce on the roster.
Yeah.
While also going out and getting the best quarterback they can out of the portal.
You have to.
And so that way you feel like you have two good options. If Deuce develops, and think about this. This is another point too. What we saw from Deuce yesterday is after what we can all agree now is a bad year of coaching. And like maybe it's got better with Hugh out the way under the last couple of weeks with Derek Nix. It certainly has been better in terms of like in-game play calling and look better in the game. But I'm talking about like the development on like Monday and stuff. I think that we can all kind of say now that most of his freshman year was probably wasted under a bad quarterback situation with Hugh Freeze. And I want to be careful to not throw shade at Ken Austin and Derek Nix and like throw them into that with Hugh. But at the end of the day, Hugh said at his opening press conference, he's a QB whisperer, he's a QB guru, yada, 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 all that. So he had his hands on all of that one way or the other. All I'm saying is Deuce Knight has not been in the best position in his first year in college football, because we all now agree that Peyton Thorne wasn't in the best position, and that anybody that's played quarterback over the past 3 years has not been put in a good position by the previous head coach. So for the majority of the Deuce's time at Auburn, he's been in that situation. Like, I wonder if he's a little bit behind where he would be in a better situation, and you still saw that. So there's a lot to kind of take into account here. But yeah, you still got to go get a top name guy out the portal. Who is your OC? Does he bring a guy with him, kind of like what Oklahoma did? System's going to be a big thing there. What is his system? Going and finding a quarterback that can fit into that. But I think you drop money. And this is going to be an expensive offseason for Auburn between buyouts, getting a new head coach. We're hearing that Auburn is, player retention is going to be a big, big thing. Auburn's going to have to drop the bag on that. We're hearing that Auburn is not going to be shy about who it chooses to go out and get as an OC. If DJ Durkin stays, he's going to get a significant pay raise. If for some reason he leaves, the next DC is going to be a high pay. Like, Auburn's prepared to spend a lot of money this offseason is what I'm saying. But I think that you got some answers, and that's the important thing. That's all you can do in a season like this. That's all you can do in a situation like yesterday is you can get some answers. And I think now Auburn has some answers on Deuce Knight. Can they pencil it in like he's for sure the guy? He's for sure the future? No. You got to go out and get continue to bring talent into that room and let them compete, which is something that Auburn has not had in the past 3 years. We've just been naming guys, right?
Yeah, I agree with you. Yeah, we talked about this on our show, What Cool Talk Sports, on Friday. We actually had this conversation about, projecting into the 2026 depth chart and how it would look, because there is a world where, worst case scenario, everybody in this room could be gone. Just because you did what's best for Ashton Daniels and you preserved his red shirt doesn't mean that Ashton Daniels will be at Auburn next year. Ashton Daniels is looking, he could look at it as from a fact of, okay, y'all bringing in a new head coach, y'all bringing in a new offensive coordinator with a new system that probably doesn't fit my style. I could probably go somewhere. I put enough on tape, especially if he put something on tape against Alabama and he looks like what he did against Vanderbilt. He can put something on tape and he can go out and probably, create a market for himself somewhere else, and potentially be in a position where with a team that potentially is in a better position optically than what Auburn is, from the fact of you're having a brand new head coach coming in, a brand new offensive coordinator, and probably be in a position to go and win some games. Probably be in a playoff position with another team. That's a possibility. That there's a possibility that Deuce could look at it and be like, yeah, this is not the fit for me, and he could end up somewhere else. You can look at it. I think the thing about it is I think that everybody feels that Jackson Arnold is out the door. Like the feeling is just like Jackson is
last
Jackson
play
is
touchdown run.
yeah. That's what he did. Last touchdown to Jordan Hare Stadium. Shout out to y'all. I got it. So and that's just the feeling that it is that everybody feels that he's gone. And then you have Peyton Falzon, who's committed to the class. Is he still going to be committed? Because he's flirting with an ACC school or potentially flipping. So you are potentially worst case scenario in the position to where you're going to have to flip another quarterback room like you did last season, last offseason. Literally. Like, I mean, that is an option. And so you always have to go out and you have to find a way to re-recruit those guys, and you have to find a way to go out and find the best guys in the portal. And the thing about it is too, as well, like if Deuce does decide to stay, and then you go out and find the best guy in the portal, and then during the offseason, now that you don't have a spring portal anymore, those guys compete, and then Deuce wins. At least now you have the best guy in the room that won in competition. Right. You have that guy. Yeah. So we're not sitting here saying, oh, he just started because of he was pressing, or we don't want him to, we don't want him to feel pressure or anything like that. At least if you got a guy that's a starting caliber P4 quarterback in college football, that's in that room, or a couple of them, and Deuce comes out and prevails, and he's the starting quarterback September of 2026. You got the right guy behind center going into 2026 season, and that can help you. That can help you win some games. So yeah, I agree with you, man. You always have to find a way to go out and find the best guy, especially in this era of college football, and especially with the situation that Auburn is in right now. It's not the same head coach moving forward, and it's just a lot of different variants and stuff like that. My answer would probably be different if this was the same head coach year by year differently. And you had a plan to where you recruited this guy, you have this guy on you have this guy on roster, and you can develop him for the next year and then keep going. But now that you got a new seemingly regime coming in, you got to go find the best guy that's going to help you win some games. So I agree with you there.
Yeah, I think on talking about Peyton Falzone, the kid that's currently committed in the high school class, season-ending injury early on into his senior season. New head coach coming in with a new system, I would be shocked. I would be pretty surprised if he actually ended up coming to Auburn. I don't feel like a new coach coming in, because he was already kind of a project. A lot of schools are recruiting him to play tight end, and so already kind of coming in as a project that Hugh Freeze wanted to take on. Doesn't mean that the next head coach does, especially coming off of a serious injury that ended his season. Didn't even get to play, really. I think it was the second game. It sucks for him. Like, wish him all the best. But yeah, I'd be kind of surprised if he ends up coming to Auburn. So going to be interesting to see how this quarterback room plays out. I think that what Deuce did yesterday was make a statement like, I think y'all might want to keep me. You might want to do what it takes to keep me into the competition. And I love what you said there. If you go bring out the best guy, if you go bring in a quality guy out the portal that you have no problem with being the starter, and you have an actual competition for whatever would be the first time in forever at Auburn, it feels like, and Deuce Knight comes out on top, cool. Like, good for you. It's still, you're still getting a return on investment that you made, so that would be great for Auburn either way. And if the other guy wins out, cool. Let the best guy play, and you still got a guy, because here's the thing too. Deuce Knight's still going to be a redshirt freshman next year. Like, let's play this out for a second, Nick. If it was just my perfect world of how this could go, if I was running the dynasty mode and I got to just set this up how I wanted to, I play Deuce next year in mop-up duty, because I go out and get a quarterback that's got one more year of eligibility left. I bring him in. He plays solid all season, and Deuce is QB2, and you actually handle business the way you're supposed to handle business versus teams like South Alabama and stuff. And Deuce gets in those games. He gets in a QB2 role. We only seen him twice this year. Have him as a backup all year, have him preparing as the backup all year, have him learn it under a guy that has played a lot of Power 4 football. And then that guy graduates, he runs out of eligibility. Deuce is ready to go, because under that scenario, you would be handing the reins over to him as a redshirt sophomore.
Yep.
Like, I know that we live in this world of college football where true freshmen got to play right now. And if they don't contribute right now, and at some positions, man, that's easier to do than others. It's easier to plug a guy in at wide receiver and him play early, or running back, or DB. But quarterback, man, like, there's a reason why you don't see a lot of it. I think Underwood at Michigan's going to be a great player, but you see times this year where he definitely looks like a freshman out there that's still kind of figuring out the game. So to me, if I could set it up, that's the way that I would do it. And I think that would be probably the best way for Auburn. And I think what also was important in this discussion is listen to the wide receivers. Like, listen to the wide receivers. The wide receivers have been saying, like, Deuce Knight's that dude. And it's so, I mean, we can go back to spring camp. And there were days when there were reports that, like, Deuce Knight was the standout of the day. You know, what? And now it's being reported that there was a lot of guys on that staff, Nick, that didn't even want Jackson Arnold. And they damn sure weren't happy with Jackson being named the starter before he ever stepped foot on the practice field. Like, nobody else outside of Hugh Freeze on that offensive staff was okay with that. So it just kind of tells you a lot, man. You named Peyton Thorne because the starter because he was pressing, right? So that pretty much tells me you wanted to name Peyton the starter. You obviously wanted to name Jackson the starter. Like, I'll put it to you this way: were we starting QB3 for half of the season?
Okay, all right. So here, okay, so all right. Here's how. Okay, I don't know. I don't know if we were starting QB3 for half of the season. I really don't know. I can't tell you if we were or not. But what I can tell you is this: Jackson Arnold has been the most unluckiest player in college football the past 2 seasons. The most unluckiest player. I am one of the people that really believe that Jackson Arnold is actually talented. I think that he can thrive in powerful football. I think he just made the wrong decision coming to Auburn. I really believe he did. I really believe he made the wrong decision to come to Auburn. And he, I hate to, like, you just look at his career since he entered college football. The guy that recruited him at Oklahoma, he played with him literally a couple of games, and the games that he played in with that OC, who was Jeff Lebby at the time at Oklahoma, ended up leaving, going to Mississippi State to be the head coach. And in those games that he played with Jeff Lebby, he looked really good. People were sitting here saying, "Oh, we understand why this dude is a 5-star plus guy. We see why." All right. Then you look at the season 24 season at Oklahoma. You get an offensive coordinator that really didn't believe in you. You did not have your full bevy of wide receivers all season at all. The offensive line was not great. And you get benched. Not in the best position. Then you get sold a dream by the previous coach. And you come here and then you have a good first game, but then it just goes downhill from there. You weren't put in the best position to win there either. So when have we seen Jackson Arnold in a competent offense for a consistent period of time that fits his strengths? When have we seen that? We haven't. So I think the best thing for him to do is to go be with the guy that recruited him out of high school. That's my thought process, because that's the best he looked in college since he's been there. And I don't know what it is, but for some reason, I honestly feel as if he were to make that happen next year, I think that team would be dangerous. I think that team that I'm speaking about, if he were to do that and hit that transfer portal and go there, I think that team would be dangerous. Because I don't think Jackson Arnold is as bad as we think he is. I think Jackson Arnold has just been put in very bad positions and very bad situations that hasn't been beneficial to him. And I hope he does. I hope he goes to the right position, the right situation that can basically sit here and let people know the past two seasons of my career in college football were not my fault. I was just a product of a messy situation. The OC at the school I was at that I wanted to go to recruited me. He left to go take the head coaching job. The OC that came in after that, he was fired in the middle of the season. I got benched. I went to the next school. And guess what? The guy that recruited me there as the head coach, he got fired in the middle of the season, and I got benched. So I feel for Jackson Arnold, and I hope Jackson Arnold makes the business decision to go do what's best for his career. And I feel like that's probably gonna happen. Now, to answer the question about QB3, I don't know because we haven't really seen Jackson Arnold in something that's competent all season long, in my personal belief.
Right. Yeah.
So it is what it is. So I can't answer that fully.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you on the part of he has not been put in good situations. And it's funny, like I saw somebody arguing like a week or two ago, some people arguing in our comment section about Xavier Chaplin. And somebody was like, man, he should have just stayed at Virginia Tech because all these kids come to Auburn and their coach got fired. And it's like, well, his coach got fired at Virginia Tech too. Like, if he would have stayed there, he would have been in a shitty situation. Yeah. He comes also like I'm just saying that to make the point that like sometimes, man, it just sucks for these kids. Like you only have so many years of eligibility. You're kind of trusting a coach, you're trusting the situation, and then it gets ruined. So yeah, I definitely hate that for everybody involved. I always hate it for the people that are not gonna play NFL football and they're on their last year and they come to a situation where a coach gets fired and they're just kind of lame duck and it's this whole dead weight type season. I hate it for those guys because I said you get 5 years. Some people like Diego Pavia, they get unlimited years to play college football. But the
thing about Jackson Arnold is that he still has like 3 more years to play too. So he still has opportunity to to correct this ship. Yeah. So I hope he does it.
If I was Jackson, what I would do is I think a league like the American would be a good place. I think he needs to go down there. But he needs to find a situation with a good QB coach that can actually kind of develop him, reading defenses, some of the stuff that he struggles with. I hear you on playing for a coach that he looked good in the system and all that. Me personally, I just think it's a little bit too fast for him. Like I don't think he's an NFL guy. I don't think he's an SEC guy. I think he just needs to be like a level down and he can enjoy playing college. And then maybe go down there to like Tulane or somewhere like that and Memphis, something like that, and play well and make a little bit of money and then maybe get like one more shot at an ACC school or something like that. I just don't know if that internal clock is ever going to like, how do you speed that up? How do you coach that up? And some of that could be system. And I do agree that he has been put in a very, very unfortunate circumstance in these last 2 seasons, and I hate it for him. And I hope that he goes off and finds well because it's tough. It's tough to be the big 5-star, to have everybody looking at you and to kind of go the way that his career's gone. So I'm definitely pulling for him. Let's get to some of these comments. Oh, and I want to say too, like by all accounts, he's handled it well. His teammates love him. All that stuff is super important. What is telling to me, though, Nick, is that the moment that Hugh Freeze is removed from the equation, the remaining staff says, yeah, we're going with Ashton Daniels.
Yeah.
So that does tell me something. Old Man Shredder says has gifted 20 up-tempo podcast memberships. Let's go to my guy, Old Man Shredder, formerly fired Hugh Freeze. I am interested, my guy, to see when the new coach is hired, your thoughts on him, and if you change the username and get behind it. I want to see my guy Old Man Shredder get behind the next head coach, but only if you agree with the hire, buddy. I want you to be true to yourself because you were definitely right on the last one. Thank you for gifting the 20 up-tempo podcast. You definitely were right the last time. Buddy.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah. Thank you for gifting these memberships, man. And for the people that have received these memberships, and go check your email because sometimes you have to go to your email to accept them and all this kind of stuff, but go check that out. Thank you, man. We are pumping out exclusive content. Like right now is the time to sign up for the memberships. And if you are somebody who has just gifted them, $3.99 a month will get you into the JV squad. $5.99 a month gets you into the varsity squad. Tons of content, Nick, coming out on the head coaching search. I did 3 videos last week updating on the coaching search. As we get the intel, I'm loading in, talking to you guys. Also did an update for our varsity squad members on recruiting. Normally, through a normal season, we have a lot more varsity squad recruiting podcasts. But when your head coach is on the hot seat from game 4 on, recruiting kind of dies. So unfortunately, we haven't had a whole lot to talk about on that end, but we did get to kind of go over there and let people know how we're feeling about some of these guys? Are they going to stay in the class? And as you can expect, it's all kind of to be determined. There are a lot of wait and see mode on the Plains right now. But now's the time, man, to lock into those memberships. So again, Old Man Shredder, thank you for gifting those, and sign up today. Sign up today for the Uptempo memberships, because we're pumping out 4 to 5 shows a week publicly. If that's not enough for you, if you're like, I need 8, 9 of these, that's the way to do it, man. Sign up today. Let's get to more of these comments, though. And also basketball season. Putting a lot of the basketball content over for the members right now, because you know what it is, Nick. No, nobody want to talk about nothing but the football in reality.
Of course.
Right now with everything going on, it's we're keeping most of the basketball over there on the membership side of things. So if you're interested in all that content, go sign up. And again, thank you to everybody that gifts those. Alex Brown says, War Damn Eagle fellas, we walk off the Iron Bowl with a 27-24 victory. Ooh, Alex McPherson with an Iron Bowl walk-off kick. That would be electric, my guy.
I like it.
They have too much left on the table over Auburn this Iron Bowl, and it's time we're sending the board to Penn State, and it's time we take it. Boy, oh boy. I love this. I would absolutely love this. Hey, McPherson's back.
Man, who you telling, bro? 46 and 49 yards yesterday, man. Shout out to my guy. Yeah. And it looked like he could have hit from like 52, 53.
Mm-hmm.
It was strong. He looked strong, man. I like it.
Good. If it comes down to his leg on the Iron Bowl,
feel confident.
Feel good about it. Hasn't missed one since the Missouri game.
Yep.
That's that mental toughness, brother.
That's it.
The weakest link says Malcolm Simmons being MIA all season before last night. He finally had a 100-yard game. What a disaster. Yeah, you could throw it deep to Malcolm Simmons. And guess what? It wasn't fairy tales. It wasn't lies. The Auburn beat was telling you the truth. When they left practice and they said, Deuce Knight has the best deep ball on this team, they weren't lying. It's real. Malcolm Simmons is fast, guys. He didn't get slow over the summer. He exists. Old Man Shredder says Saturday is going to be fun. It's going to be a blast, bro.
Man, yes, it is, man.
Look,
and it's a night game, too.
Yeah, I can't wait for the time when Auburn enters the Iron Bowl with something to lose, with something on the line, because that is the best. But there is something fun about not having anything to lose.
Yeah.
It's like, if you beat us, cool. I mean, like, it sucks. You've been beating our ass anyway. Like, whatever. Hello, darkness, my old friend. I'm sitting in the same room I've been sitting darkness, in. My old friend. Yeah, that's every Saturday almost. But Will Ferrell sink it to the pool and old school to the bottom of the pool. Every time I hear that song, that's what I think of. After you get shot with a dart.
That's funny.
Yeah, it's good stuff. So, but when you have nothing to lose, man, that stadium is going to be on another level, man. That team, I mean, to all the Alabama fans that would say, "Oh, well, we're your Super Bowl." Yep.
That's good. That's good.
Yes.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah, we are. Or you are, 100%. We ain't got nothing else to play for.
Well, yeah, we do. We got a chance
to get that bowl game, baby.
We got a chance to go to a bowl game.
Get that bowl game.
We have to put the importance of bowl games back on the table.
Let's go.
Bowl games are important.
Hey.
We gotta make sure that people know getting to a bowl game is still important. I'm just saying. I know we obsessed with the college football playoff, but the bowl games are still important.
Dude,
the Music City Bowl was important. The Capital One Bowl was important.
Hugh Freeze didn't think it was important.
Okay, you got a point there.
He didn't game plan. Yeah, I didn't have a game plan for Maryland. I was out recruiting.
He was out recruiting week.
I wish you would have told me that before I sat in this cold ass stadium all afternoon, bro. It's 20 degrees out there in Nashville. You didn't practice? You didn't try? You didn't make a game plan?
That was wild.
We're freezing, dude. I had just had an elbow surgery 2 weeks before. My elbow was, man. It's over.
And you know what? That had to be one of the wildest statements ever. And then even after that, to say the QB competition would be open, and then literally less than 3 months after that, say that he's paid toward the start. Oh my God.
Yeah.
That sequence of comments matched his sequence of the plays. We're trying to call plays on offense, bro. It's hilarious.
Yeah, the halftime show at Auburn over the past 3 years should have been people getting shot out of cannons and monkeys riding unicycles online because it was a freaking circus, dude. An absolute circus. But yeah, Saturday is going to be fun. So I know the Auburn family's going to show up, show out. Night game at Jordan Hare Stadium. EPW says Bammer's big time nervous and rightfully so. Yeah, look, this is not. Well, actually, I'll do prediction at the end of the show. I don't care. So I'm cool giving a score at the end of the show, Nick. If you want to, you can.
Okay.
But look, I'm not coming on here and I'm not going to do content all week where I'm like even trolling or trying to suggest that Auburn's the better team or anything like that. That's not the case, man. But an honest Alabama fan, and I've seen some of the Bama content creators that I have respect for are saying like, yeah, you got to be nervous about this because you are Auburn's Super Bowl. Auburn doesn't have anything else to play for. But this is the thing. It's because Auburn has no business being 5-6.
That part.
That's the part that makes the game interesting.
Yes.
Auburn has no business being 5-6.
Yes. I agree.
Because of the talent that's on this roster.
Wholeheartedly agree.
If you're coming into a situation where it's a rivalry game on the road at one of the toughest places in the country to play with a fan base that's just starved for something, for something big to be happy about. And it's probably the most intense rivalry in sports. If it's not, it's top 3. And you're coming into the on the road with your playoff hopes on the line. You mean Auburn has the opportunity to knock you out the playoffs?
Yep.
These last 2 Bama teams have been significantly better than the Auburn teams that they played in Jordan Hare Stadium. And they took everything they had to escape. So, yeah, I'm not predicting Auburn to win, but Alabama to be rightfully be nervous. They're going to have to come in there and play a football team that's record is not reality in terms of the talent on the roster. And you could make the argument that this Auburn team's 1-1. Because it's a completely different offense anyway.
Yeah, you are true. That is true.
Roll Tide says Deuce is a natural dual threat. He's going to be a star when he runs, he glides, he makes it look so easy. Yeah, Alabama fan coming in here supporting the show. Appreciate you, big dog.
In the words of Ernie and Kenny, he makes it look effortless. That's what he makes it look.
It's that big long frame.
Yeah,
and he's so smooth, and his strides are so long that you look up and you're like, oh man, he took 10 yards like that.
Yeah.
That third touchdown run, the balance when the linebacker hit him.
Oh yeah, he didn't go down. He stood up, turned and just got into the end zone. I was like, look at that. Look at that strength. That's strength right there. That's weight room. That's what that is. That's the weight room.
I'm supposed to not overreact to this. Come on now. So Mickey is a recipient of the of one of the memberships, and he's saying thank you to our guy.
Shout out to Mickey.
Yeah, so Mickey, welcome to the Uptempo gang, man. Check out those memberships. Because now you have access to all of them, so you can go back if you were rewarded a membership, you can go back and check out everything. So go back and check out our coaching hot boards and all that stuff from this week, and we'll have another one up here in a day or two. Also, with great points regarding Deuce. Thank you, buddy. Teresa says his pocket awareness is so much different than JA. It was not. Yeah, look, I want to be fair. Playing a Division II team where you have a little bit more time, it's a little bit different than playing Oklahoma and their D-line on the road and everything like that. But first sack of the day did happen when Jackson Arnold came in. I was like, oh my God, bro. So
I mean, we all agree that the pocket awareness is 90 day between the two. I think that Jackson Arnold just stays on one read too long because he's trying to make the first read and things stuff like that. But the thing about it is when Deuce decides to pull the ball down and run, he pulls the ball down and he's going to run. And that is a decision that's made. And I feel bad for anybody who's in front of him. But yeah, man, what's going to end up happening is like I can see it coming. A lot of teams are probably just going to leave a spy on him and make him throw the football. And that's where the development is going to come. It's different when you have a Harold Perkins Jr. over there spying you. They can run just as fast as you can. Or you have, Samuel Omasingo from Oklahoma spying you as well that can run sideline to sideline just as fast as you can. So I mean, like we celebrate what we saw yesterday because man, it was great to see that. You saw the athleticism, you saw the reason why you saw the reason why he was a 5-star guy. But when you get into the SEC play and even next week, if he does play next week, which I maybe we do see him play next week, but or later on in his career, a lot of teams are he's going to have to be able to throw that football in the tight windows, which we saw him do pretty well towards later on in the game, which we saw him do that and be accurate as well too. So yeah, man, I mean, it's just the reps and just just a little bit of mechanical things here and there and stuff like that. He'll be fine. He'll be fine.
Yeah, absolutely. Brad says, I just wonder how many people that shat on Thorne are now realizing how bad the coaching actually was for the QBs. 3 weeks post firing Coach Hugh Freeze, the difference in QB play is astonishing. Yeah, Brad, I said this on the War Report post-game show yesterday. I don't think you can underestimate or overhype, oversell, overstate just how bad Hugh Freeze was at Auburn. I mean, it's all time, bud.
Mm-hmm.
It's all time. There's no other way to put it. It's pathetic. So yeah, when you're watching this offense, because again, yes, it's Mercer. Let me ask y'all this: how big of a gap do you think there is between South Alabama and Mercer?
Not that big.
I don't think the gap's that big.
It's not that big of a gap at all, actually.
Okay. Well, I'm saying, if I was South Alabama, I'd be trying to scoop Mercer's quarterback. I can tell you that.
Ooh, what Atkinson? Ooh,
I can tell you that. Okay,
man, I'm telling you.
3 points in the second half versus that South Alabama team versus 62, and then with the context of what happened a couple weeks in Nashville, we know what we know. Yes, but yes, it was Mercer, but let's look at the cupcake games. South Alabama, who sucks. Ball State, who sucks. Mercer, who doesn't suck, but they're a level below. Which one looked the best? The one with Hugh Freeze out the door, man. Like
here's
that's
the thing about South. South had the same problems that Auburn had. They got a little coaching issue. They got some coaching issues as well.
Right.
And things stuff like that. South is actually a better team than what they put on the field. They've been in a lot of games.
Yeah, I'm surprised at their record.
Yeah, that surprised me too. I was like, I thought South would win at least 8-9 games this year. But I was looking at it, I said, man, y'all was in some games, and then y'all just let the lead just blow up Shawait out of nowhere. But hey, it is what it is. That's what happened in coaching. But to your point, yes, there isn't that big of a difference between Mercer and South. There isn't. And then just as you said, you put up 62 points against this team, but you only put up what was 31, 34, something like that against South.
I want to say you were up 28 to whatever, 28-14 at halftime, and you think you got a field goal?
Yes, that's it.
Yeah. Tough, Nick. Tough look. All
I want to say is, however bad you thought it was with Hugh Freeze at Auburn, like multiply that times like 5. That's the best way to figure it out. Like it was that bad.
On my online dynasty mode on the EA College Football 26 game with my friends, we're in like year 2037 or something. Hugh Freeze is the coach of Kentucky. Yeah. Yeah.
Wait, is Kentucky good? Are they good?
No. No. You know who Auburn's coach is?
Who?
Shane Beamer.
Is Auburn good?
Like 8-4. Yeah. I keep trying to get them to hire me, Nick. They won't do it. Susan says, got to keep 9. Give him the bag. Yeah, I think he earned it. Today. And look, one way or the other, other teams are watching that too. So he's got good tape that he can definitely use in negotiations this offseason. Yeah, I said it yesterday, man. I posted it as a short. I posted it on my X account. It's all there. We know the tools are all there. I want to see this kid succeed at Auburn. Auburn needs to find a way to make that happen. Let's see. Teresa says, if Ashton plays well, Tim, your user picture name, bro. Like
that's Paul Mooney, baby.
That's
what I'm talking about. Tim, the tool man, Taylor. What up, my
guy? Yeah. So funny, dude. Golly,
Paul Mooney.
Yeah. You caught me off guard with that one. I wanted to start quoting it, but we got to stay monetized. Teresa says, if Ashton plays well in the Iron Bowl, is Ashton that guy with 1 year of eligibility? I don't know. I mean, here's the thing with that, Teresa. Here's the thing. Who is the next OC? Who is the next head coach? There's so many questions about system and fit and all of that kind of stuff. But he has definitely helped himself with the tape that he's put out, and then also the way he's handled the situation and the teammate that he's been. So, yeah, just really happy for him. And it looks like we probably should have turned to him a little bit sooner. Old Man Shredder is saying that if you don't subscribe, you can never get gifted a membership and see all of the exclusive stuff. So, yeah, and I got the analytics part of the channel. I can go in there and look at it week by week. There's a big portion of people that come back, repeat people that watch the show that aren't subscribed. So hit that sub button, man. It's free, doesn't cost you anything, and you might ultimately be able to get gifted a membership and something like that, and it helps the show out. LD, what's up, buddy? He says, Wardam, Eagle, Dustin, and Nick, Victory Sundays. These are the best, my guy. These are the best. Appreciate you being in here and rocking with us. And hopefully we have another one next Sunday. That would be a lot of fun. And then hopefully next fall we get to do these on the regular.
I hope so.
I'm in my third year doing the show, and I haven't got to talk about a winning season yet. I would love to get to do some fun content. Thomas says, I'd rather Deuce start next week than against Bama. I don't know. Be careful what you wish for, Thomas. Careful what you wish for there. Yeah.
A little recency bias there, Liz.
Yeah. No, I hear you. I mean, look, I get it. Deuce put on a show yesterday, and I think he's going to be a good football player. I think he's going to play football for a long time. So, I don't know, man. Maybe you're right, Thomas. Maybe he's just that dude. But Iron Bowl at home, I think rolling. And Ashton's played well. Ashton's played well outside of the Kentucky game, which we all kind of feel like now, especially after I watched what Vanderbilt did to them yesterday, and I just pull my hair out. I'm like, yeah, Kentucky's defense does suck, just like we all thought they sucked. And so it's just really frustrating. But I don't put that Kentucky game on Ashton Daniels. And even if you do, you could still make the argument that the second half versus Arkansas and the complete game versus Vanderbilt, he's shown enough. He's the guy that's got the experience and got the starts. In a game of that magnitude, yeah, I think that rolling with Ashton Daniels is the right pick. But I hear you. But I think that there will be Iron Bowls in the future that Deuce Knight gets to start if you're able to keep him at Auburn. So,
yeah.
Noodle is in here. He says, sup, guys, got to say, I was wrong about D. Nix. Hugh Freeze made fools of us all. Yeah, man. He did. It's – yeah, shout out to Derek Nix. He's doing a great job. It makes you wonder, like – and I want to be careful saying this because it's going to sound like I'm saying Derek Nix is not a good coach. That's not what I'm saying. It just makes me wonder, like, how much of this is Derek Nix and how much of this is just getting Hugh out the way? Probably somewhere in the middle. Like,
yeah.
And I want to give Nix his props. He's doing a great job. But again, you just can't oversell how awful Hugh Freeze was.
But okay, so I think here's how I would answer that question. I think it's really more of getting Hugh Freeze out the way because what you're seeing is, and we talk about this all the time on the show. It looks like what they practice during the week is what they're calling on game day. And the people that are with the quarterbacks in the offense during the week are Derek Nix, Ken Austin, Jesse Stone. Those guys are with the offense on a weekly basis. I mean, during the week, they're with them doing practices, meetings, and all type of stuff like that. So it looks as if the guy that's actually with them all week long is the one that's calling the plays and knows exactly what worked during the week and what are the strengths. And he's calling that stuff to the strength to make the player look good. That's what it looks like. So, there isn't the middleman in between that's trying to change stuff, at the last minute and things and stuff like that. I mean, look, pretty sure Hugh Freeze is a great guy. Pretty sure he is. Met him once. Met him one time. Pretty sure he was a great guy. But Hugh Freeze was the problem. Like I said, however bad you thought it was, Multiply it times 5. That's how bad it was. I'm telling you, man. You literally just all you basically did was just get the guy out of the way, and the people that was working with the players during the week actually started calling plays. and and now we look like, wow, this is what should have been happening all season long. Like, where was this? Well, it was happening during the week. It was just one person in the way. That's all it was. So, it is what it is. But I leave it alone.
Old Man Shredder says this roster was set up for an old school Iron Bowl where a winner went to the championship game. What could have been next year looking bright, though. Yeah, for sure. This definitely there should be more at stake for Auburn, for sure. But like I've been saying since Hugh Freeze was let go, the right guy and Auburn's there. Auburn's there next year. So I firmly believe that. Maybe not competing for a playoff spot, but I think that like looking at A&M is a very good model for the direction that Auburn could go.
I can take that.
And thank you for the $5 super chat. Yeah, like if Auburn hires the right coach and then next year it goes 8-4.
Yeah, I can take that.
And you look better, you look competent. You're not going, man, this looks so disorganized and so dysfunctional. And it's like, oh, this thing's trending up. And then the next year you could really be ready to roll. Auburn's got to learn how to win big games again, man. And that's what we've learned is that's just easier said than done. Eric Pearson says it really pisses me off that we could have been doing this all season. If not for Hugh Freeze, he owes us all the refund. War damn Eagle. Yeah, man. Trust me. Your frustrations are valid. Yeah, your frustrations are valid, and you're right to have them. A lot of people paid money to go to games, season tickets, all this kind of everything that goes into that, and a lot of people, some people have put a lot of money into the actual roster, and they didn't get they didn't get their return on investment. So yeah, man, I think a lot of people feel this way, and you're right too. It's frustrating because it's not it just shouldn't have been this way.
No,
it just shouldn't be this way. So yeah, I feel you, Eric. Mike says we are playing for something, changing the narrative of this program. Yeah, I hear you. It would definitely be a step in the right direction. It would definitely kind of get the jokes off your back, and you'd be able to kind of punch back when we haven't been able to punch back when you're out at the store and you got your sweater on and some jackass walks up to you and says, "Roll Tide," and you don't really have nothing to pop back with because you ain't beat them since 2019. Like, it would be nice. It would be nice from that aspect. I think what I'm talking about is like Auburn and Bama meeting up at like 9-2, 10-1 with like A&M and Texas did last year.
Yeah.
Like with the Kick Six Iron Bowl when the West was on the line.
Yep.
And I think a big part of changing the narrative for Auburn is going to be consistently having winning seasons, and because Auburn's lost so long now that there's going to take like more than one game to turn the narrative around. But I agree with you, Mike, that it definitely would help, buddy. It would help. It would go a long way. It would go a long way, and it would kind of it would be an announcement to the college football world for sure. Like, hey, look at us. We're here. We're capable. People like Joe Klatt. If Auburn beats Alabama, at your boy Joe Klatt is what I would encourage.
Yeah, I saw. Listen, I was watching. I saw the video you put out right after he put them little comments out that he made, and I was like, and the first thing I thought about, well, not the first thing, but like after I watched it, couple of hours after went by, I was thinking about, I was like, what if Auburn beats Alabama this year? What would be his reasoning then? I'm just curious to know. So
the theory that Auburn can't be good because Alabama exists in the same state, and then that Auburn fans.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to curse.
You're good, buddy. Yeah, you're good on like who cares? What are you talking about? Like, we're acting like Florida State, Miami didn't have their whole thing in the 90s. You're acting like Texas A&M and Texas just didn't meet up with a playoff spot on the line last year. You're acting like Georgia Tech and Georgia. Now, the loss yesterday affects Georgia Tech a little bit, but they're going to be meeting up like this weekend in a big time. What are you talking about, bro? Oh, and then to say that he said Auburn fans' expectations are over the skis. Because Auburn fans are tired, because they're about to have their 5th losing season in a row if we don't upset Alabama.
So what do you expect us to do?
So what are the expectations? So if Auburn fans are upset with 5-7 and you think that is over the skis, then my question to Joe Klatt is 2-10 what we should be walking around expecting over here? Shut up, man. Shut up and keep Auburn out your mouth, bro. You got no idea what you're talking about. It's okay. And people, they put these microphones in their face and they don't know when to say, I don't know what I'm talking about, or that's outside of my range. I'll tell you right now, I got no idea what's going to go on with Lane Kiffin or LSU. I'm not going to act like I have any clue. Isn't Joe Klatt a UCLA guy or something like that?
Yeah, he's a West Coast dude.
I'm not going to speak on any of that because I don't watch any of that no defense crap garbage football. I'm not going to watch that nonsense. Keep Auburn out your mouth, dude, because you have no idea, and I get it. You're a national guy. You have to cover 50, 60 teams. Man.
That's a lot. That's a lot.
If I was going to go on the microphone and talk about a team that I didn't know a whole lot about, I'd do 5 minutes worth of research. It's like the national reporters this week. National reporters for On3 going, oh, boy, Deuce Knight going to be starting next week in the Iron Bowl when they saw the announcement that he's going to be starting versus Mercer. Do 5 minutes of research, man. Do 5 minutes of research.
Jesus.
Ridiculous. Teresa says, Dustin, I'm so glad you have Nick on with you. It's fun to you two of you going back and forth. Appreciate it, Teresa. I'm glad you like the dynamic. Yeah, man, Nick's my guy. I think he does a great job. Does a great job over there at the Water Cooler Talk podcast, and enjoy having him on every Sunday. And it is more fun from a content creator perspective to have somebody else on with you. Sometimes you got a quick one you just want to get out in 10, 15 minutes. But yeah, man, it's definitely nice to have somebody to bounce ideas off of. Because sometimes you can go a little crazy. Like I'm just staring into the camera, talking to myself. Like, anybody listening to me? Lizzie says, good morning and war damn. I'm late, about to rewind and watch now. Well, Lindsay, good morning to you when you catch back up. Appreciate you being here with us. It says, if Coach Hugh Freeze was a QB whisperer, what exactly was he whispering? Somebody in the comments replied with the comment of the day saying he was whispering we're close.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Do you know how close we are, though?
Almost, we're close.
We're gonna get there, guys. Whatever it was, Zed, I would be shocked if another program of an SEC caliber ever allowed Hugh Freeze the opportunity to whisper in their quarterback's ears again.
It's going to happen.
You think so?
Yes. I can tell you this. Hugh Freeze.
He's Sun Belt. He's Sun Belt.
Probably. That's probably
CUSA.
Like, here's what I think. Here's how I think Hugh Freeze. Here's how I think Hugh Freeze is gonna look. Because Hugh Freeze strikes me as one of those people that wants to be seen as competent and good at what he was known for. So he's not gonna just walk away from this and just be like, "Oh, this is just the end of my coaching career." You know, this ain't about it. Nah, he ain't about to leave on that note. He gonna probably take a year or two off, and then next thing you know, you're gonna start hearing him. It's gonna be a surprise. He gonna end up somewhere like ULL, ULM, or somewhere like one of those type of schools. And then next thing you know, those teams he gonna end up going. He gonna probably go and figure out why his offense wasn't working the way it was working, and probably try to revamp it. Come back and have one of the biggest and just best offenses in the country. And I think I'm gonna say this: if it's not an SEC school, it's going to be a Big 12 school that he goes to.
Okay.
Don't be surprised. He's gonna go to a Big 12 school, win a bunch of games over there, get into the playoff, and people gonna be like, look at what Auburn could have had. I'm like, what? Do y'all not remember what happened during that time period? Like, right. Come on, man. Like, let's not do this. Let's not do this.
Know. I hear you. I don't know if he wants it bad enough.
After he sit down for a year or two, he gonna be like, he gonna get the itch. He gonna get the itch. So? Okay. I believe it. I believe it. I believe that's what's gonna happen.
Man, there were reports coming out that he was going to the golf course to watch people golf. Not even golf.
He was just showing up just to look at other people on the driving range.
Like, man, he's got all the time in the world. We'll see. If he goes to the Big 12 and starts winning games, I'm gonna be pissed. Yeah, whatever. This offense has over 1,000 yards, 100 points in 2 games under Nick's. Why are we looking at another OC? Yeah,
that is a very great question.
This is valid. I'll say this. Okay, I hate this. It makes it. I sound like I'm hating on Derek Nix today. Think back to whenever Harsin got fired. Will Friend, Ike Hillard, and Cadillac. They go back and look at those 4 games. They went back to the 40s, but Auburn moved the football. They put up stats. And I remember saying at the time, I don't even think I had a show yet. I don't think so. Maybe we were just starting. But I remember thinking like, man, why don't we just keep those guys and just keep running the football down everybody's throat for 400 yards? It's working. And then you see that, like, I mean, Cadillac's not even coaching right now. He's like out of a job, like where is Ike Hillard? Where is Will Friend? So yeah, Derek Nixon's done a great job. I would just say and maybe, I hear what you're saying. It's a good point. I don't know how many big name programs are going to be beating down the door to hire Derek Nix as their OC next year. And maybe they are. I mean, he was at Ole Miss, but under Lane Kiffin. So yeah, I don't know. This is very interesting. I guess I don't really know where I fall on this as we're kind of talking about it.
I want to ask this question to that. Why? Okay, if a guy is doing it, okay, so I get what you're saying about the Will Friend, Ike Hilliard situation. What you're seeing from Derek Nix right now is literally sequencing, play calling, and actually a guy that actually has a plan and knows what it is. Like, it's not like he's new to this. It's not. Right. It's not like he was under Lane Kiffin.
Yeah.
He was up under Lane Kiffin, and the way, and we see what's happening with Lane Kiffin right now. So if we sit here saying he was up under Lane Kiffin for a period of time, we don't think he caught any type of none of that rubbed off on him. Not like a fourth of it rubbed off on him. But the notion that this is what bothers me about this. The notion that what he's doing now, a lot of people saying it's a small sample size. I've seen a lot of coaches get paid off of small sample sizes. I've seen Jeremy Lin get almost max money in the NBA off of a small sample size. I look at it and I say, why does a coach who's doing it on this level right here, right now, in front of our faces, showing us that he can do it, why does he have to go down a level and do the same thing he's doing right now at what a lot of people are saying the most competitive conference and the best conference in college football? Why does he have to go down a level just to be able to bring himself back up to it? He's doing it right now in front of our faces.
Yeah.
In a situation to where you literally have to almost corral and bring the morale of a side of a football back in order for them to score points. They scored 3 points against Kentucky, and Kentucky just gave up 45 to Vanderbilt. We couldn't score 10 against Kentucky. So why does he have to go to the SWAC? Why does he have to go to the American? Why does he have to go to the Sun Belt? He's doing it right now in front of our faces, and he's doing it at a competent level. I don't understand the notion of him having to leave to go somewhere else and do it. He's doing it. He's doing it now. Why do we have to go see him prove it somewhere else when he's proving it right now in real time? That doesn't make sense to me.
No, I don't have any pushback.
I don't understand it. I don't understand this at all. It doesn't make any sense to me. Like, we sit here talking about other OCs coming in. You got one right there. He's showing you in real time. And it's not, and I understand exactly what you're saying about running the football what Wilfred and them did. Yeah, that was definitely early 2000, late 90s, what we saw. I formation, all type of stuff like that. This man is literally throwing the ball across the yard.
Right.
And you've seen him do it with 2 different quarterbacks. The only thing he's missing is just doing it with Jackson Arnold against Alabama. And if he do it with Jackson Arnold against Alabama, I don't know how you not keep him as the offensive coordinator.
Yeah.
And if he does do that, I'm sorry. I'm already on the Derek Nix train. I am. I just don't understand this notion of everybody that I've heard talk about. He has to go somewhere else to prove what he's doing right now. Have we not seen the season before he started calling plays?
Right.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Nick, you make a lot of good points, buddy. Let me ask you this, because I'm definitely not against it. Do you feel like, or do you worry that for a new head coach coming in that's already agreeing to keep DJ Durkin at the DC,
I see where you're going.
that then also keeping the OC is like, yo, what? Like, am I the coach here or what?
I see exactly where you're going.
You see what I'm saying?
I see exactly where you're going.
Are you keeping too much of the old regime? And even though Derek Nix hasn't done a bad job, it's done a good job when it's been handed to him and maybe deserves to stay. Is it just a situation where it's like, man, you just kind of have to move on because you have to move on type thing? As silly as that sounds, but relationships can be involved. You know, there's a lot of stuff that goes into all of this. And again, I'm just trying to play devil's advocate and play out, like, how often does a new head coach come in but keep the OC and the DC? Are we going to now tell them that he can't keep rid of Marcus Davis either? Like,
Okay.
At what point does it stop?
Okay, so let me counter that with this. Reports are coming out that whoever, hint, I'm pretty sure everybody that has read these reports and know what we're talking about, that the person that is the front runner for the job has agreed, or the candidates that have agreed to be the job have agreed to keeping the interim head coach on his DC and this particular OC. When has that ever been a thing? I've always heard of head coaches coming in picking who they want to come in. Like, let's just be real about this. James Franklin, it has been floated that James Franklin is literally thinking about adding Brent Pry as the defensive coordinator for Virginia Tech.
Yeah.
The guy that Virginia Tech just fired as the head coach.
Ain't no way, bro.
He is thinking about making him the defensive coordinator for that same team. You think Virginia Tech signed on to that?
I don't think they're going to allow it. I don't know anything about Virginia Tech. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I don't think they will allow that, but I don't know anything about Blacksburg, so I could.
I look at, like, it just feels to me like, okay, I get what you're saying. I understand where you're coming from that. Like, if I'm keeping the OC and the DC, like, why am I here? You know, if I'm the new head coach.
Right.
You know, I get what you're saying. I understand that.
Yeah.
But I mean, bro, like, if it ain't broke, and if you could just come in and just set a direction for the team, which is basically what we just asking. Like, it's the question of is Auburn close, and we just need a guy to set the tone for the program, or is this a rebuild? And I'm more inclined to believe that we just need somebody to set the tone for the program.
Yeah.
I don't think we're in a full rebuild.
I'm with you.
So I don't know, man. I don't know. So that's a tough one. It is. It's a tough one.
Hey,
that's tough.
It's good for us as content creators. There's no shortage of things to talk about, for sure. There's no shortage of things. Old Man Shredder says, I feel like the only way Nick stays is if we name DJ Durkin the head coach.
That's probably the only reason. That's probably the only way.
Yeah. Kelp says, I agree with both of you. To me, Nix has proven enough, but the only way you can make him the OC is if Dirk is the head coach. Unless another head coach just wants to hire Nix, you can't force him to. Yeah. You know, this is me and Nick talk about this all the time, as to where a lot in sports, people want things to be black and white, this way or that way. And it rarely is.
There's so much gray area.
There's so much gray area. There's so much little detail in all of these things. It's fascinating conversation though. And it's fun to have. And look, here's the thing I will say. There's no denying that the offense has improved under Derek Nix. And wherever he is next year, he can use that at the negotiating table because he's done a good job. Hummer says, it's Mercer. Don't get too excited. Remember Jeremy Johnson. Why are we bringing up Jeremy Johnson on November 23rd?
One half of Arkansas, baby. That's what I'm talking about, baby.
What are we doing that for?
That's a trophy, man. Hey, but shout out to Jeremy Johnson. Jeremy Johnson won a championship in Mexico.
Did he?
He won a football championship in Mexico. Shout out to Jeremy Johnson.
That's awesome, man.
And he won a state championship as an offensive coordinator for at Montgomery Catholic.
Okay,
so shout out.
That's
to
cool.
I didn't
shout out
to Jeremy Johnson.
I'll give him that one. The football
like,
Mexico championship. Like
they play football in Mexico. They do. They do.
Okay. All right, then. But yeah, no. Remember it. Unfortunately, yeah, we're not so excited, man. This is the day after the Mercer game, and think about it. If you were in my position, if a 5-star freshman quarterback just put up 6 touchdowns in his first start, would you not come on and talk positively about it?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we're not getting so excited, man. No one's saying that he's a Heisman Trophy winner. No one's saying that Auburn's going to make the playoffs last year. I'm not on here. We're going to get Nick's score prediction here in a minute. I'm not on here saying Auburn's going to beat Alabama. We're just simply reacting to what happened yesterday on a football field because that's what this show is. So, yeah, no overreaction. I can't say that Deuce Knight sucked yesterday because he didn't suck. I have to say he played well because he played well. The weakest link says Deuce has got to be the starter going into 2026. He's too talented to ride the bench.
We just had this problem. We just had this problem. I'm just like,
yeah.
Let's best man win.
Let's have a real spring game. Let's have a real quarterback competition. My God, bro, we didn't really prepare for the bowl game. We didn't really have a spring game. We're not taking it hard on quarterbacks in practice. Just loser. Just loser mentality all over this program the last 3 years. This was a great point, John. We're not getting better until our offensive line doesn't take 7 to 8 games to gel. 2 straight years we've paid for high-priced left tackles that have been the worst pickups on the team. I don't think Xavier Chapel's been the worst pickup on the team. Now, he has not been – the money has not, been there as far as him is the performance matching what he got paid. But he hasn't been good. I'm not going to say that he has. Yeah, I'm with you, man. That's really important. There's going to be so much talk about all, coach, quarterback, all this kind of stuff. You ain't winning this league if you don't have a good offensive line. And Auburn hasn't had a good offensive line in a long time. Really, Gus failed to recruit it. He quit recruiting offensive linemen in the way, literally, like numbers-wise. Like he was missing on the guys that he was getting. Yeah. And numbers-wise, he wasn't putting enough in the room. Like we had to convert D tackles every year and all this kind of crap. It was terrible. And then the line was at a bad spot. And that's a position where it does take you 2-3 years to get on the field most of the time and develop just because of size in this league and everything that goes into that. So I think Auburn's got some really young, talented guys on that offensive line. Brody Schroll, Ty Buster, Kale Ellis. Like I think we got some dudes down there.
Yep.
Jake Thornton is not an SEC level offensive line coach. He does not deserve to be at Auburn. So he'll be out at the end of this year. And yeah, Auburn, that's a big thing, man. Auburn's got to fix the offensive line. So I don't disagree with this at all. I was excited whenever Hugh Freeze was hired in his opening press conference. He talked about how Auburn has to get back to recruiting offensive line at an elite level and developing offensive line at an elite level. I think Auburn recruited offensive line at a pretty good level, but the development hasn't been there. We've seen that. And yeah, that's part of the reason why Hugh Freeze is not here. Jake Thornton, also just a very, very bad hire that's done a terrible job at Auburn. So yeah, this has got to get fixed for sure. Any thoughts on that, Nick?
No, you said everything. Yeah, offensive line is very, very important. Now, you mentioned some guys, Ty Buster. I think DeAndre Carter is a guy that we can see.
I forgot Carter. Yeah,
I think DeAndre Carter is a guy that we can see potentially next year play. I'm very high on Brody Shore, Tyler Johnson. Those guys, like it's a lot of talent. It's a lot still in that storehouse that you can that you can use. Now you just got to build on top of it as well and get ready for it. I agree with you, man. You have to in this league, the lines of scrimmage is the difference between winning and losing games. Yeah. And if your line of scrimmage is strong, above average, you have a very good chance of coming out on top in a lot of games. So we have to continue to get those elite guys. Manuel Iheanacho. I know Auburn may not be in your top 5 right now, but hey, you got a new coach coming in potentially. So hey, go take a look. So,
all right,
it is what it is. I'm just calling out names, man. We need you. We need you, my guy. We need you.
Tell you one thing, Auburn's got money for you. Vibes says, if Coleman leaves, I'm leaving too. Well, don't do that. Okay. Because even if Coleman stays, he's only got one more year and he's going to be out the door anyway. So unless you only plan on watching college football for 1, 2, he's got 2 more years max. He ain't going to play a senior year of college football. But even if he did, 2 years ain't worth you leaving Auburn, bro. So just hang around. Listen, I get it. We all love the players that are on this team. We all want them to stay. If they do leave, I present to you an example in College Station to where a bunch of guys left, but they hired the right coach, and it didn't matter. My guy WK Sweat says JA would be starting if Hugh left after the Texas A&M game. Member for 9 months. I think he may wouldn't be. I think he probably wouldn't be starting. Yeah, it would make more sense there. Thank you for being a member for 9 months, brother. And yeah, probably like they would have pulled the trigger sooner for sure. Marshall, my guy Marshall's in here. What's up, buddy? He says he's calling for Hugh. Talking about Knicks. He says he's calling from Hugh Freeze's playbook also. Yeah, I mean they're not doing it's not like they did like whole new installs and stuff. So yeah, he is kind of working with Hugh Freeze. How much is his stuff different than Hugh's? I don't know, but yeah, again, Derek Nix is doing a great job. Vincent says, "Come on, Auburn fans! I thought y'all would know better. It's Mercer, fellas. Calm the F down. Just beat Bama, and I'll be happy." Vincent, let me know in the comments what we've said today that is an overreaction. What exactly do I need to calm down from? I don't know what I've been over excited about. Auburn beat Mercer. We're happy about that. True freshman quarterback got his first career start. He had 6 total touchdowns. We're going to come on and talk positive vibes about that. I'm not going to come on and say he played bad. He didn't play bad. To everybody saying it's Mercer, what do y'all want me to say? That Deuce Knight played bad? You want me to lie? What do you want us to say? Yeah, we'll all be happy. We'll all be happy if Auburn beats Alabama, for sure. But this is the day after the Mercer game. And that's the way the content works. We have to talk about, we're going to do Iron Bowl stuff. But yeah, we're talking about what Deuce Knight did yesterday.
Exactly.
so we'll have other topics on other. Yeah, I don't get it. Good win yesterday over a solid Mercer squad. Now go take care of business. That's from Vandy Chris. Gonna try. I hope they do.
Shout out to Vandy Chris from the Go to Broom podcast. What up, Vandy Chris?
Yes, I hope they do. Good luck. Good luck to the Commodores in rivalry week there. That'll be a fun one, man. Tennessee and Vanderbilt, like always been a fun rivalry, but now like it's Vandy's put some juice in that thing, right? Going in there. That'll be a fun one, man, for sure. So shout out to Vanderbilt.
So I got a question for you. College Game Day is down on 3 spots. I don't know if they've announced it yet, but Michigan, Ohio State, Vanderbilt, Tennessee, Auburn, Alabama. Which game is more important?
What was the second one?
Vanderbilt, Tennessee.
Oh, you said first one, Michigan, Ohio State?
Yeah.
Vanderbilt, Tennessee.
That's where you think they go?
That's where they need to go, yeah.
I would make an argument that the Auburn game is more important.
Don't go to the we're 5-6, man.
That doesn't mean anything. Because that doesn't mean anything. That don't mean nothing. Okay, so let's look at Vandy and Tennessee. Is there any chance that both of those teams get in the playoff?
Both of them? No.
Yeah. Okay. Let's look at Michigan, Ohio State. Ohio State's in the playoff. Is there any chance that Michigan gets in the playoff?
No.
Okay. Auburn, Alabama. Auburn has a chance to win to become bowl eligible.
Right.
Alabama has a chance to win to go to the SEC championship. Auburn has a chance to beat Alabama to keep them out of the playoff and the SEC championship. Which storyline sounds better?
Tim Tebow and them can come.
SEC Nation.
Yeah.
SEC Nation, baby. All right, that's what I'm talking about.
Look, I hear you. Look, I hear you, and I'm not gonna be mad. I'm not gonna be mad if game day comes to Auburn. We definitely, great fan base, definitely deserve it, man. It would be great for the campus. It'd be great for the community. I wouldn't be mad at it at all. I guess to me, game day needs to be 2 good teams.
Okay. All right.
That's just kind of the way I'm looking at it. And if we. Yeah, I mean, you make good points, Nick. You make good points. You make a lot of good points there that I can't necessarily push back on. But Like if I was a neutral fan, okay, if I wasn't an Auburn fan, I would be probably the most fired up this weekend for Tennessee Vanderbilt.
I don't think I'm not doubting that. I'm not gonna doubt that. I see where you're coming from that.
Like last year, I was excited for A&M in Texas.
I see where you're coming from,
and I feel that because, man, Vanderbilt, Tennessee just hasn't had this juice. Because if any of them have been good for the majority of history, it's been or our lifetime anyway.
It's been Tennessee.
It's been Tennessee. And now like both of them are good.
Yeah.
Like yeah, man. So I would go that way. But look, if they pick Auburn, Auburn fans gonna show up, gonna show out. It'll be a great atmosphere. I'll tell you. Okay, here. I'm glad I just thought of this. Bring Pat McAfee's ass on down to Auburn.
Oh
because he got something to answer for anyway.
You know what? They might come to Auburn because of that.
Anyway.
They might come to Auburn because of that.
Outright pick the Mercer Bears. There's missing on predictions, bro. There's missing. And then there's missing 62-17, my guy.
Yeah. He didn't just pick them to cover the spread. He said outright win.
Outright win.
I said, whoa, wow. I was like, I even looked at that and said, yeah, that sounds crazy, but okay. I was like, okay. Like they might just come to Auburn just because of that, so he can take his shirt off and apologize to the Auburn fans and try to give somebody $500,000 for kicking a field goal. Maybe, I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, it would be electric. It'd be electric. The Auburn fan in me hopes it happens. To the one saying it was just Mercer. This is DLev 4760 says to the one saying it was just Mercer. JA didn't look this good when it was versus South Alabama, and when it was
point.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, couldn't agree with you more, buddy. It was just Mercer. It was. But you have to go out there and play the game. And if the guy plays good in his first start and he was a former 5-star and he's a true freshman and your fan base hasn't had a whole lot to be excited about this year, yes, you're allowed to get excited. You're allowed to get excited. Auburn fans are allowed to have a little bit of hope that the true freshman quarterback that they just watched ball out, yes, versus an FCS opponent. But if you're new here and you haven't been tapped into Auburn football over the past couple of years, hasn't always been so great. FCS opponent, FBS opponent hasn't really mattered. So the fact that what was the score the last time we played Mercer? Wasn't that a ball game in the fourth?
Surely was.
Oh, yeah,
surely was.
Come on, man. Come on, man.
Was.
You can be excited about this. You can be excited about this and not be overhyping it. We're excited that Deuce Knight played well yesterday. We're excited for what that could mean for the future. No one is clearing the cases for his Heisman Trophy next year. So, yeah, good point there, D-Lev. Appreciate you rocking with us today. 9-time champion says, Deuce, over under 10 plays in the Iron Bowl. I'm going to go under.
Yeah, I'm going to say under that 10, too. I think you see, I'm gonna say this. Man, I know people will be like, man, I thought I saw somebody in the chat say Nick is Jackson Arnold's agent. I'm not. I'm gonna put it like this. I think you probably see Jackson Arnold come in here. I know I said this earlier about him. Only thing Derek Nix is missing is Jackson Arnold to come in and win the game. I don't know, man. Jackson Arnold could come in here. I'm just trying to look at all scenarios. Could Jackson Arnold come in here and help Auburn win this game against Alabama? Like, if that happened, how do you not hire Derek Nix? Like, come on, man. Like, that would be hilarious. That would be hilarious.
Yeah, Jackson played running back last year pretty much and beat Alabama
basically
at Oklahoma. So, but I mean, the thing is, this is why I'm against the change of pace packages and all that, because all three quarterbacks run.
They do.
There's no like Jackson's good with his legs, Deuce is good with his legs, Ashton's great with his legs. There's no reason to bring in a guy because they can all do that. So I don't really like if you do that to me, you would only kind of be tipping the defense off. It's to say, hey, this is probably a QB run. But then if you decide to throw out that, are you really tricking them? Like because they're all the same guy. I just don't see what the benefit of that would really be. We're about to get out of here. We got a few more comments that we want to go ahead and get to. Listen, guys, if you're listening over on audio, Spotify, Apple, anywhere like that, turn on those automatic downloads, leave a 5-star review, follow us over there. And if you stay over here on YouTube, like the majority of our audience does, hey, if you got a Spotify account, just go over there real quick, type in a 5-star review, turn on the automatic downloads, and then pop right back over here. To the 20 people that have been gifted memberships today, man, check your inbox. You might be a new Up-Tempo member, and go to the member feed on the Up-Tempo channel. Check out some of the coaching hot boards that we put out over the past week, and I got more to come. I will have a member pod drop for you guys tomorrow morning, and then again, like I said, all week as we get intel, we'll pop in and let you guys know what we're hearing, because this is probably going to be a busy week. This is a good week to be to be in those memberships, man. So, and then here's the thing too. I got my guy Nick helping me here today, like he does every Sunday. But this is pretty much a one-man show running this thing. So you guys support, even if it's a $2 super chat or anything like that, it does help, because as Nick can attest to, these things aren't free. Running the show is not free. You think when you get started, you just turn the camera on, and that's going to be there's a lot that goes into this, man. So great crowd in here today. Just watching the video helps out, but subscribing, smashing the thumbs up button, and then anything that you can do, whether it be memberships or super chat, it really, really does help. So thank you to everybody that does. Couple more of these comments here, man. Zach says, wasn't that 2017? It was 24-10. Believe so. It was definitely one of them snoozer type games. 2017. Yeah, that sounds about right. 2017, 2018. I think it was somewhere there at the tail end of the Gus era. Old man Shredder says, it's just New Mexico State. How did that work out? Yeah. We all know how that one went, bud. We all know how that one went. So, yeah, you can be excited that Auburn played well versus Mercer. You can be excited that a true freshman quarterback tied Cam Newton and Cadillac Williams' record with 6 overall touchdowns, and you can still not be overselling it. Let's talk Iron Bowl real quick here, Nick, because I'm not sure if me and you will talk on camera anyway before the game begins. Man, a lot of storylines in this one.
It is.
You kind of mentioned Auburn could play for a bowl game. I think it's interesting. Our guy Ike Jones said that he was at the game yesterday covering the game for the War Poor. He said the Gator Bowl was there. And there's a possibility that even at 5-7, Auburn would be in or would have the opportunity to accept a bowl bid. I said this on the show yesterday, Nick, and I want to get your opinion on this before I ask you for prediction on the Iron Bowl. I said that it's my mentality. I'm not a participation trophy kind of guy. So 5-7, just because other teams didn't qualify and you get one, I don't really like that. Here's why this year. So normally in this scenario, I would say no to this. Here's why this year I'm different.
Okay.
Because I believe that somewhere between a public apology issued by the conference for terrible officiating,
I see where you're going,
a head official being fired from another game because he did so bad, I feel like somewhere in there, the refs cost Auburn a game in the aggregate. And that under that scenario, and then also a lot of times when you're in this situation, you have a coaching change. Well, Auburn obviously has a coaching change, but if DJ Durkin stays as DC, he's already acting as interim head coach. You could do the bowl game process pretty smooth.
Yeah.
If he's going to stay.
Yeah.
And then that's the opportunity to get more practices. And hell, I'd rather finish, if Auburn loses the Iron Bowl, I'd still rather finish 6-7 with a Gator Bowl dub than 5-7 without one. Like, it'd still be something to take into the offseason as momentum. And off the top of my head, when's our last bowl win? Gus over Purdue?
Yeah.
So what, 2016, 2017, somewhere in that area? Like, so the Auburn fans will definitely deserve that. Marshall saying maybe 3 games. So yeah, normally, again, and I think y'all have listened to the show enough to know that I'm not a moral victory participation trophy kind of guy. But under this scenario, with the way that Oklahoma game went, where Auburn lost by a touchdown, when the officials literally came out after the game, or the conference came out after the game and said that touchdown shouldn't have counted. They didn't even speak on the defensive touchdown that Auburn scored. Like, Auburn won that football game, and the refs decided to take that game away.
Yeah.
Georgia game's a little bit different, but it's still very, very controversial. So yeah, for all of those reasons, I would actually be okay with Auburn accepting it, because I feel like the conference piss poor officiating probably cost Auburn a game. Where do you fall on that?
Normally I'm a standard is a standard. You know, if you got to win 6 games to get in, you got to win 6 because anything can happen in a football game. And then you can look at those games and be like, well, Auburn still had enough time in those games to get it correct to still win the game. You know, normally it's how I am. Most of the time you got to be twice as good just to excuse me, just to get, you know, acknowledged most of the time. And in those games Auburn had to do that. And they didn't do it. But when you come from that point of view, I'm with you.
Let's go.
I agree, man.
Let's go.
I'm with you. When you bring it from that point of view, because you literally had the conference come out and give an apology after the Oklahoma game. You literally had a referee get permanently suspended.
Yeah, permanently suspended.
Yeah. Indefinitely. I think is that the word they use? Indefinitely suspended for the rest of the season over another game. And so, yeah, hey. Yeah, we'll take that bowl. We'll take that bowl win even if we lose against Alabama. Yeah, we'll take that bowl. Yeah, we'll take that bowl win. Go ahead.
How you feeling about the Iron Bowl, buddy?
Alabama's defense is actually better than what I thought they were. I thought they were good. I did not expect them to be this good. I think what you're seeing from Auburn's offense these past couple of games has shown you what I expected Auburn's offense to look like all season. So I think you still see that. Alabama cannot run the football. They have a hard time running the football. But they do have explosive plays in the passing game. Thing is, if you can get pressure on Todd Simpson makes mistakes. And I believe Auburn has the front seven in order to do that. I think you have it depends on what Kildren Falk. Kildren Falk came out the game. He was injured a little bit this past week. So I feel if you can get Amaris Williams, you can get Chris Murray to do what he did yesterday. If you can get Kieran Crawford to get in there and get some plays. If we can see young guys like Jordan Crawford and Jared Smith come out and make some plays, Elijah Melendez, Xavier Atkins has to play out of his mind. If we can get pressure on Ty Simpson in his game and cause him to make some mistakes, I think it can compensate for what we've seen on the back end with this secondary. Losing Sylvester Smith in the second half of that game.
What was he doing, bro?
I have no idea. Losing Sylvester Smith in the second half of that Mercer game, and now he has to sit out for the first half of the Alabama game is a big deal. Auburn got to keep this game close. I'm not trying to. I think Auburn can win this game, but if this is a close game in the fourth quarter, I think we end up not pulling it out. If we do pull it out, that there tells me that there's a different mentality on this team. But I think this game is going to be close in the fourth quarter because I think Alabama's offense is going to get some explosive plays against the secondary. And I think you see him in the first half because I think the second half is going to be more of a defensive struggle because you're going to see a lot of adjustments from both teams. I think you're going to see a lot of your scoring in the second half. I mean, in the first half, and then you're going to see 1, 2, maybe 3 plays or drives in the second half that's going to basically determine the game. Alabama 31, Auburn 30.
Another heartbreaker. Yeah, that'd be tough. That'd be tough. I'm kind of there with you. I think my big concern right now is Caleb Harris in coverage, Jarquez Robinson in coverage. Like they've not been good there at all. So I worry about Ty Simpson kind of picking us apart at that safety spot. And yeah, we got to get pressure on him. But look, I'm gonna do something I don't know. I don't think I've heard anybody do this year. I haven't done it either. But I'm gonna call it like it is, guys. Keldrick Falk's got 20 solo tackles, 2 sacks on the season. 0 forced fumbles. Where you at, bud? Where you at? Whole lot of talk. Where you been? The Casper the Friendly Ghost out there. I see Kieran Crawford. I don't see you. Best player on the team and all this stuff. Leadership council and all this stuff. Where's it at? What's up, man? What's up? Look, I believe in Keldrick Falk. But I'm not going to act like this year hasn't been disappointing. It has. I understand you're being doubled and all that. Cool. Then you should be having 5, 6, 7 sacks. If you're the player that you've been made out to be, 2 sacks ain't it. NIL, You're getting paid to get more than 2 sacks, brother.
Mm.
First round projections, all that stuff. Come on.
Not even first round, top 10.
Keldrick Falk been nowhere for the past month or two. It's time. If you're going to make a statement, if this is your final game in Jordan-Hare Stadium, what's the big Keldrick Falk play that we go back to over his career that he made in crunch time? Okay. You got one more. You got – look, I love Keldrick, man. I've been a big fan of his. Y'all know that. I said all kind of stuff about him before he ever stepped on the field. It's probably the first time I've ever said a negative word about him on this show. But if you want to be one of them dudes that we remember, we need some big plays to remember you by. I remember Stanley McGlover. I can tell you the plays. I remember Quentin Groves. I can tell you the plays. I remember Nick Fairley. I can tell you the plays. When we needed it. I can tell you about D Ford. I can tell you about Nosa Igwe. I remember the plays.
D Ford, Texas A&M. Yes.
Where you at, big dog? Where you at? Leader of this team and all that. Saturday, I want to see it. Keldrick Falk, they said he could have played if it was a bigger game and all that. He's going to play. Step up, man. Step up and be the dude. Because now's the time. Great crowd, man. Love you guys. I appreciate y'all. Smash that thumbs up button everybody's putting in the chat. All the great Auburn defensive linemen. And I love it. I love it because we got a history of it. Gonna have to get after Ty Simpson for sure. I'm with you, Nick. I don't have a score yet. I'll probably give a score later in the week. I want to study some more stuff on Bama. But I got Bama winning a close game, and I won't come off that. There's nothing I'll see in the week that makes me come off that. Yeah. I got Bama winning a close game, and I hope to God that I'm wrong.
Me too.
I can't.
Me too.
Like that. These last two in Jordan-Hare. Unfortunately, we've been so bad over the years that I've just accepted our fate. When we go to Tuscaloosa, I'm just like, all right, whatever. But these ones at home, dude, like
gotta get them.
Putting the wrong guy out there on punt return and stuff. They've been devastating, man, and we got to get it figured out. So I hope I'm wrong, but right now, culture. I got the culture winning out. So let's go, man. Like the video, sub to the channel, share this out on social media. Tag me at DMXShot28. Tag Nick at the Water Cooler Talk podcast. And Nick, what's going on this week? Got a big week, baby. It's Iron Bowl week. We got head coaching discussions. We got Iron Bowl. What all is going on over there?
Yeah, man. We about to ramp up the content. So you're gonna see videos. Of course, we go live Monday, Wednesday, Fridays. Then of course we do the live stream on Saturday. We will be live streaming the Iron Bowl Saturday night. Of course, we ramping up content going into the December because the end of November and basically all of December is very important in college football. Transfer portal, everything's coming up. So you about to see a lot of videos, not just lives, but videos, content being pushed out over on Water Cooler Talk Sports. We are 120 people away from 1,000 subs at Water Cooler Talk Sports. Oh. And we are trying to hit 1,000 subs before the end of 2025. So if you would, please come over there, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, share the content, interact, go watch some of our old stuff. And watch the progression from 2023 up until now. And we appreciate y'all so much for rocking with us, man. We talk SEC football, college football, and of course we talk Auburn football over there as well. So, man, appreciate you, D McShod, our guy, Dustin. I don't know why I said your Twitter name like that, but shout out to Dustin so much for coming out and allowing us to come over here and rock with you, man. Appreciate you, my guy.
Hey, let's get the Bama fans riled up before we get out of here. C-Mac says 32-27 Bama. The refs caused us to lose this game. You ain't lying, C-Mac. You ain't lying.
That's what I'm talking about.
Auburn will play the refs on Saturday. So that's the big question. Can Auburn overcome the mighty Crimson Tide and also the mighty Greg Sankis? Because they will be out in full force, making sure they're cash cow. The Alabama Crimson Tide get to the playoff. You make no mistake about it. Hey, I don't ever encourage betting on this show. If they got prop bets out there for who's got more penalties, pound Bama or pound Auburn. I mean, because Auburn will be the team with the flags. I promise you. If this is a close game in the fourth quarter, you better get ready. It's gonna look like banana peels are getting thrown all over the field. It's going to be crazy out there. You are 100% right, C-Mac. I know all our Bama fans are going to love that one. Love y'all. Appreciate y'all. We'll see y'all later on in the week. Members, I got a pod dropper for y'all in the morning. See y'all then. War Damn Eagle, baby.
Yes, sir.